And with that, welcome to this election night edition of Crashing Game Night. My name is Matt Diorio, your host. As always, um, we are sans the beanie one. He's taking care of some personal issues with the family. So we'll be out with him. Jason will be on there long momentarily. I am joined by the beanie one, or not, or the beanie one wannabe rather.
The baby face.
The babyface one.
The
You know,
baby face.
he's missing his beanie though, making fun
Yes,
of
no beanie.
Thea,
But
making fun of Cherry, but that's Thea Walski.
but I have a test
Hmm.
for Jerry. And so nobody in the comments or anything say anything, or Jason or Matt say anything. We're gonna see if he does his homework and watches when he's not participating. So I'm gonna show these off real quick and see if he ends up seeing them on the recording when they come.
Oh,
So they're a lot of fun. And I don't want to say it so
bullseye.
that way.
What are those? Hold on.
I
What
also don't want to
editions are
say it
those?
because I don't want him to cheat and do his
Okay.
homework by listening.
Okay, but
But it's Target's
Ooh.
Bullseye, the dogs.
That's awesome.
I love these so far. So
That's
far, there's
awesome.
only the two. The other two are supposed to come out in December, so we'll see how that goes.
Well then, while we're at it, we'll just do this real quick and get it out of the way. I got a new pop.
Yes, you did.
Yes, I did. This is the 7 of 9 pop for Picard season 3. So we all know how much I love Picard and Star Trek in general. And I saw this and everywhere had it up for like pre-order. Funko had it already up for sale, ready to go. So I just ordered it from Funko. So it is yeah, and it is sitting right next to a reorganized shelf that allows me to have just her ship and just her in its own spot.
Nice.
Without being surrounded by other ships, I kind of separated everything a little bit, spread them out a little bit more.
There
So
are two coming out that are coming soon, but I don't know if you're very interested in them because they are the Borg
Picard as
Queen
Borg and the Borg Queen. Yes, I
Picard
want
as-
Picard as Locutus.
Okay.
That is something. Hey! And there, ladies and gentlemen, is our maitre d' of services, the man with the couch, the lion's mane, the man, the myth, and the legend, Jason Blidio.
How's it going, guys? How's it going? Sorry, a little late. You know, a little...
It's all
You
right.
look like you're cold or something.
Yeah, dude. It's a little
He ain't
bit
in Colorado,
chilly.
so I don't know how he's
It's
fucking
snowing
cold.
right now here, sir.
Listen,
Snow.
listen.
It isn't
Listen.
snowing here. It's just freaking cold.
Listen,
there's snow in here.
my house is not very well insulated, so you know.
All right.
Not very well insulated for that like 65-degree weather you probably have.
Nah, yeah, that's 65, bro. It's too cold, bro.
Let's do a live check-in on the weather. Oh, it is currently a frigid 61 degrees in Long Beach right now.
See, dude,
Man.
low 60s can't handle it, bro. It's too small, too low.
I'd be sweating my balls off.
What lies?
Yes, huh?
The white stuff you guys call snow, you know, like I don't know what the hell that is. It's all
I don't know. I'm looking. I don't think I've got
it's fairy tale
crystal
dust,
snow,
bro.
you know.
Fairy tale dust.
We don't have any of
Fairy
it here,
tale
Theo.
No, we got
We've missed out on the snow.
We've had about a quarter inch so far, and it's still snowing.
Here up in L-Town, yeah, we missed the snow on the last round the other day, and we're missing it tonight.
Definitely moving north because it started in Denver when I left work, and it had not hit my house until a little after. So you might see something.
So, folks, like I mentioned, this is an election night edition of Crashing Game Night. However, we're not going to be talking results.
We don't talk politics.
You know, the only politics we talk about is being good to each other, supporting our friends in the LGBT community, you know, supporting diversity, all that. But we won't talk about anything with the election. We just want to give you guys some laughs for tonight because let's be honest, the world's kind of been watching us the last week. I've got some people I know up in Canada that are kind of making their posts online that they're here as their emotional support Canadians. It's been pretty damn stressful around here the last couple of days. So let's give it some laughs. You know, I do want to start it out. This one's for Jason.
Oh.
And this was released right
like literally after we stopped last time,
after we did this. So let's go to the theater. We're gonna go Baby Jason.
Baby Jason.
We're going Baby Jason.
Makes me think of Endgame. Like, I don't know if it was old me or baby me, but somebody peed my pants.
So, Jason, it is your monthly games for PlayStation Plus for the month of November. So we have Hot Wheels Unleashed 2 Turbocharged. We have Ghostwire Tokyo, and the third one is Death Note Killer Within. So Jason,
Man, I'm pretty excited for
you
those.
usually get the first say on the matter. What say ye, sir?
You know, one obvious real big one, Ghostwire Tokyo. Big hit, big game. Um, it's a great way to have some fun for November before all the holiday stuff, before you pick up new games for Black Friday, before December comes out, Christmas right around the corner. The Death Note one, I have no idea about that one. It's a day one release, so yo, shout out to
I didn't realize a
PlayStation
day
for
one
doing a
release.
day one release.
It is a day one release.
That's surprising.
So
did you
that's
watch
really
Death Note at
interesting.
least though, Jason?
Huh?
You watched Death Note though,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So I mean, it seems like it's gonna be like a Danganronpa, I guess, where it's like the suspense or like a Ace Attorney kind of thing. I don't know, so I have nothing to
So
say.
let's go
Hot
to the
Wheels,
synopsis for it.
Hot Wheels, it's a Hot Wheels game. Like,
But
kids.
it's a racing game.
Yeah, it's kids
It's
racing.
fun.
All right. So Death Note Killer Within. For those that are watching at home, you're seeing us on PlayStation blog for it. For those listening at home, you can head over to PlayStation or blog.playstation.com. Check it out there. But the synopsis is Death Note Killer Within is an online social deduction game for up to 10 players. Players will split into two teams with different objectives. To win the game, players will need to figure out each other's identities and either eliminate L, who threatens Kira's power or seize the Death Note. Enjoy a battle of wits as Kira and his followers, or as L and the investigators in the world of Death Note. As equally matched opponents, the two teams clash to control the game while hiding their true identities from each other. The Death Note is hidden among the players, leading to a thrilling game of cat and mouse until one team overpowers the other. Each role has its own characteristics, allowing you to master a deep sense of strategy and tactical play. Depending on your assigned role, a wide range of strategies can be formulated, and each randomized scenario develops into a high-stakes game of tactics. That actually sounds like a lot of fun. It's basically an online Clue.
Yeah, I was kind of thinking like it's like a Death Note skin over Among Us, tied with Murder Dinner Theater type of deal.
Yeah.
Can we get Tim Curry as the butler to kind of host everything? That'd be great.
I feel that having the team play does make it a little bit more
appealing,
not lopsided, because Among Us, you can easily kind of you can you can have one to I think three imposters, but it does make it a little bit more team based rather than I'm gonna do this and not get caught and then try to lie it out. Well, there is gonna be a lot of lie deception. Just like those One Night Werewolves board games. It's gonna have that a lot.
Never played One Night Werewolf.
I think that it just depends on what the tasks and what the powers those people have is definitely going to make or break that game. Because Among Us, when it started, when it was big, there was not that many. There was like probably zero mods to maybe very little. But now there's so many mods that make that game a lot more interesting or a lot more tactical, a lot more I can do this, I can do that versus,
wasn't proximity chat a big thing?
Proximity chat made it huge, but then what made it even larger and what some people go back to is because there's for example, one of the roles is the jester, and you want to be kicked out by everybody in order to win. So you kind of want to play.
Interesting.
You're a crewmate that wants to play as a imposter, and then there's also like
Okay.
You can't quite make it too obvious.
yeah, exactly. So there's a lot more. It does have like some pros and cons, and Among Us did get a lot better with the mods,
Yeah.
but so we'll see. I mean, it's really
So
interesting. Really
it's a
interesting.
decent slate. Ghostwire, I will absolutely pick
Oh
that
yeah.
one up.
Yeah, I'll drop that. I'll pick that up for free. I'll
I
pick up
just didn't
Hot
want to
Wheels
pay
too.
full price. I mean, I usually add everything anyways.
Mm.
I don't.
So it's free. It just tosses in my catalog. Do you know how many times I've gone back to going, okay, we could try this one. So
If you know, I know I'm not gonna play it, so I'm not even gonna like,
eh.
I'm not gonna play it. Sorry, bro.
So
Like,
the other thing coming out of PlayStation World was that yesterday they announced that there's going to be 50 plus games that are going to be available at launch of the PS5 Pro on Thursday that are going to be enhanced games. When you look at the list, they're saying it's going to basically potentially add additional ray tracing, spectral super solution, whatever. But it's interesting the amount of third-party titles that are on this list. So as we look at it, the big one, you've got Alan Wake 2, Albatross, Apex Legends, Assassin's Creed Mirage, you've got Baldur's Gate, Black Ops 6, College Football 25, Dead Island 2, which is like, when are they coming out with a sequel? Because I remember, E3 2014, us standing in line and seeing that trailer over and over and over again. Um, you know, Demon Souls, Diablo 4, Dragon Age Veilguard, which just came out, which has some mixed reviews on it. Dragon's Dogma 2. You've got FC 25, Final Fantasy 7 Rebirth, Fortnite, God of War Ragnarok, Hogwarts Legacy, both Horizon games, Madden 25, all three Spider-Man games, remastered Miles Morales and 2, NBA 2K25, Pal World, before it's shut down. Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart. You've got RE4, RE Village. You've got Star Wars Jedi Survivor, Outlaws, Test Drive, The Crew. You've got Last of Us Part 1 and 2, Until Dawn, War Thunder, Warframe, and World of Warships, which Warframe and World of Warships, those are all free games to play. So honestly, that's a pretty decent list of games that'll be available with the enhanced graphics on it. I still hold true that it is, it's not necessarily worth it. So, um, so moving on over, Nintendo, and this broke within the last hour. John Vanaki, who is part of Nintendo America, I've been following him for years. He tweeted out this like 30 minutes ago, just as I've already prepped. So, Johnny V, thank you for pulling this out there because there's so many Nintendo accounts out there, but they did put out an English translation over on Twitter. I refuse to call it X. So if you go over to the Nintendo COLTD account, it does say this is for Okawa. At today's corporate management policy briefing, we announced that Nintendo Switch software will also be playable on the successor to the Nintendo Switch. Nintendo Switch Online will be available on the successor to Nintendo Switch as well. Further information about the successor to the Switch, including its compatibility with Nintendo Switch, will be announced at a later date. But the fact is that you're going to be able to play Switch software and Switch Online on the successor. I think that's big because that was one of the things that everyone was kind of worried about was, is my stuff going to transfer over? And I think this kind of gives us a little bit of a glimpse in that we are going to, in some way, shape, or form, get a backwards compatibility out of it.
I also am curious with the phrasing of successor to the Switch, if the new one's going to even be called Switch.
Well, hopefully they don't go with hopefully they don't go like Wii and Wii U.
Yeah, I don't want to switch you.
Just give me a Switch 2 and we can be done with it. So who knows what they're gonna call it?
Switch up. Nintendo Switch up. Oh,
it could be called a Super Switch.
Switchblade.
No.
What? You don't want this to be the Super Switch?
No.
Like the Super NES?
No.
But that being said, I think overall, I think this is a good move for Nintendo. It shows that they're still kind of keeping that what made the 3DS so good. Because you could still play all your DS games, and you could, you have backwards compatibility, and some of the Game Boy games out there and stuff and whatnot. So,
the successor.
And people that have the older
3DS games or some freaking Game Boy Advance game slots.
Yeah.
I'll do that.
And like we said before, the people that have the old games, they don't want to pay an extra $60-$70 to buy the same game.
Yeah.
Like over again. Like remember.
Sure. Or have to maintain another console.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So now in all of this, Nintendo, give us Wind Waker.
Yes.
They probably will, man. Like at some point.
At some point, like they should already have it done.
Nah, at some point. Come on, man. You can't. Nintendo's all about giving people when it drops big, it's going to drop big. So I mean, it's not going to be like come on. By the way,
they teased us with giving us Metroid Prime Remastered, and then have left us hanging with 2 and 3. It's like, come on, people want these games.
Well, just give them to us. But I mean, like, you got to ramp up, man. Like, if you have all of it come out at one time, like, what's going to come through the pike like a year or two from now? Nothing. Because you're gonna be like, oh, we got all of it at one time. I don't need this anymore.
Yeah. So, we'll see what happens. I think honestly, I think we're probably looking at, like, everyone keeps kind of going, well, where is it, right? I still think we're probably, I think Jeff Keighley's going to pull something out of his ass, and we're going to get the reveal at Game Awards.
Quite possible.
And then March, April, maybe April release, something like that. So,
or have something at the start of the year, or to be revealed for summer.
Yeah. So in all of this, with the announcements of this, Nintendo released a new app called Nintendo Music, and this is actually part of the Nintendo Switch Online program.
Wow.
So anybody who has Switch Online has free access to this app. And it is a bunch of officially, or not officially, but the official soundtracks to a bunch of games. So it's available on on Apple and Androids. I have it loaded on my iPhone, and I have it loaded on my iPad. The interface is pretty straightforward. Once it's playing the track, it looks like any other music player on those devices. It's got you can look for it by game. You can go by recommendations. They have set it up to where you can do it by character. So like there's a whole playlist of Zelda music. There's a whole thing of KK music. But when you're looking at it, right, you've got
Jesus.
It's scrolling through
stuff.
So as it's scrolling across our screen, for those that are watching at home, for those listeners that are going to be just listening to the audio side of it, just go into the respective app stores for your device and just go download Nintendo Music. But to give you an idea, and unfortunately I'm looking at my actual cell phone right now to kind of do this as it's scrolling, but from the Nintendo Switch, you've got Super Mario Wonder, Pikmin 4, Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, Splatoon 3, Animal Crossing, Kirby Star Allies, Mario Odyssey, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, and the Breath of the Wild. From the Wii, you have Mario Galaxy and Wii channels. So it's all the music from the fucking Wii, including like the startup sequence, even the forecast and news channels. It was kind of entertaining, kind of brought a little tear because I remember when that the console came out and trying to get a hold of one. This was back when I was still working at my Blockbuster, and there was a Walmart right across the street, and they got one in. I like literally booked it over there, ran through the store, and they're like, "No running." I'm like, "Fuck you," because I'm getting myself a Wii.
You gotta catch me first, bitch.
Right. From the DS, you've got Tamagotchi Collection. Nintendogs from GameCube, they've done it's Metroid Prime. Game Boy Advance is Fire Emblem: The Blazing Blade, Ocarina of Time, and Star Fox 64 from the 64. SNES, which has been updated as of today. It was originally Super Mario World 2, Yoshi's Island, and Donkey Kong Country. They have now added Donkey Kong Country 2. Was it Diddy Kong's Quest? So those are all from the Super Nintendo. Game Boy is Kirby's Dream Land and Dr. Mario. And then rounding it off with the NES is Mario Brothers, the original Metroid, as well as Metroid from the Famicom Disk System, which that's not a game I even knew came out. So it was over in Japan. So I think all in all, right, when you look at the value that every company's subscriptions are bringing to the table, I think this is a huge get for anybody that's a huge fan of Nintendo.
Huge fan of classic music too. Like some of this game music is just iconic. That's all it is.
Yep. So anyway, so it's got recommendations, hints, it's high, you can hide spoilers. I think that's huge because if you're working through, say, Breath of the Wild, right, and you haven't gotten to a particular part of the game, you can hide that part. So you don't hear the music or anything like that.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's
well thought out.
That is well thought out.
So, and for those that happen to get may have a trial, they allow you to actually access the app and the music when you have the trial as well.
That's good.
The nice thing is that with the app, you can actually download the music so you can use, listen to the music offline.
Okay.
Through the app. So bravo, Nintendo, for adding something that has actually been really asked for, because a lot of people have asked for the soundtracks to their games.
Yeah.
So this is huge. Not gonna lie, when I was handing out candy on Halloween, I was listening to Mario Kart tracks. And as I was taking down my decorations, I was listening to the Animal Crossing soundtrack. Which is kind of surreal, because I'm like, oh, I'm taking down my decorations while listening to the exact music I would be listening to while taking down my decorations in the game. So so kudos to Nintendo. It's well worth it. I've used it every day so far.
But as we were saying from before with PlayStation, you have their like little symphony thing. Like here, you can narrow it down to what you like versus,
correct,
for random music that doesn't clash together. Here you can have a bunch that like, oh, I want to listen to all of the Mario songs or all the Zelda songs, and then it makes sense to have that track lyrically or that playlist.
Yep. So I did want to end tonight because we haven't talked about card games and tabletops in a while.
There's
all
so
of us
much
in
going
some
on.
way
So much going on this.
Are playing Magic. So I'm playing in Arena. I am actually looking at getting back into the physical game again to play with people. Give me some human interaction.
What?
Yes, human interaction. Get out and
You're
actually
a brave man, sir. You're a brave man.
Anyway, so Foundations was announced at MagicCon in Vegas. And they're kind of bringing some mechanics back. So they're this article from over at magic.wizards.com by Matt Tabak kind of goes over all the mechanics. So they are, they're keeping flashback, which has been a staple for a while. Threshold, which I play the crap out of that with one of my mill decks on Historic on Arena. Threshold just based on if you've got 7 cards, in your graveyard, you get certain ability kicks. One of mine, my threshold on some of my cards, if there's one of each or 4 different types of cards, so it could be land, planeswalker, creature, instant, whatever, right? As long as there's 4 different types of cards in my graveyard, the opponent mills on upkeep, which is great because I have 4 of those Manic Scribes in my deck. You've got Prowess, which that's making up a lot of decks right now on Magic Arena, where basically your creature, whenever you cast a non-creature spell, it gets 1/1 till end of turn. Plus, there's some other stuff it gets, depending on the card. Raid That one's basically just gives you extra creatures and stuff like that, depending on what the raid ability actually is.
Raid's the one that requires you to attack, right?
You have to attack and then it triggers. Right.
Oh, okay.
Yep. Our planeswalkers are still there.
Still broken.
Still broken. I love the fact that they do have the rule out there. You can have multiple planeswalkers of the same type out at the same time.
That's crazy though. That's insane.
But not the same name though, right? They're still legendary.
They're still legend. But here's before they did that rule though, you could only have one Jace, right? Or one one Chandra.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because they did the legendary rule just like a couple years ago.
Yes. So now you can have like all 4 variants of Chandra out. You can have multiple
which I find to be ridiculous.
Which is broken in my oppression deck because I've got
it's broken in general. Like
it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun to try to make super friends decks.
Yeah, for real.
They're hard to make, but they're super fun if you can get it going.
Yeah.
So the big change, and this is what I want to talk to you guys about, and it's a shame Jerry's not here because he's starting to get into the game, is the way damage is going to be assessed.
Combat
damage is changing now.
Combat is being changed, and this is going to be ridiculous.
The strategies with this.
Yeah.
So beforehand, and this is going to play, Theo, this is going to play into oppression so much, and I'm loving it. I'm so here for this. Is that before, when you were saying one creature was attacking and you were they blocked with 2 creatures, right? You had to assign lethal damage first to the first creature, and then everything went to the next creature.
There was a lot of different rules, Matt, but yes.
Yeah, that was the basic overview. That's kind of how it worked.
The basic overview. Well, no, this is what happened before, was that the basic overview was depending on if, and I thank God they don't bring back banding. Thank God. Banding would have made it worse. But anyways.
So here's actually an explanation right here, Jason.
Okay.
For it. Yeah, so it says previously, if an attacking creature was blocked by multiple creatures, the attacking player would put those blocking creatures in an order of their choice. During the combat damage step, attacking creatures can't assign combat damage to a creature that's blocking it unless each creature ahead of it in line is assigned lethal damage. The example was if I attack with a 5/5 and it's blocked by a 3/3 and a 4/4, he would put you put your creatures one in the order. The example is, say I put the 3/3 first, because that's what I want dead before the 4/4. And then if you're holding a giant growth after the order is set, knowing the 3/3 is first in line, I could cast giant growth on the 3/3. And then during combat damage, basically now it's not a 3/3, it's a 6/6. And I've already assigned my 5 points of damage to it. So it lives and my creature dies. My 5/5 would die. Because
but I mean, that's in that scenario.
The defending creatures would both live.
Yeah.
Yes. Now it's going to be, the new rule is the damage assignment order no longer exists. So I can apply the damage however I want to.
Yep.
So for this is same example, 5/5 blocker, whatever. It's now the declared blocker step after blockers declared. Last opportunity to do anything before combat damage is dealt. Pass priority. You have giant growth in hand. You can still save the creature of your choice. We'll say you want save the 3/3. Same reason. So it's a 6/6. We move to combat damage. Now I can assign the 5/5 however I want to. I can go now after the 4/4 instead of now what is a 6/6, or I can do 3 damage to one creature and 2 to the other.
Yeah. So previously,
how does this work with phases though? Because I'm pretty sure the defensive player should have the opportunity to choose optic growth after the offensive player declares damages.
That's the change.
That's one of the changes. The second change was that before it was the defender that had priority to put which one would be in front and stuff. Now
defensive could never put what's in front.
Defensive could never decide the order. But the way it was is it used to be I declare attack. Okay. Yep.
Yes.
Then
I
you,
declare
Theo,
blocks.
you
I
declare blocks. You tell me.
Okay.
So say you're going to block with 2 creatures. Okay.
Yep. And then you assign the order.
Then I assign order.
And then I can respond.
Then you can respond to that by doing a giant growth or whatever to pump that creature that is up in front.
Okay.
After I've declared, hey, I'm going after this 3/3. This little 4/4 over here, I'm ignoring it because I want to lethal damage this 3/3. Now, like before, once I say, okay, this is how it's going to be, you could play giant growth. Then I could have a response like a counter or whatever, right? And then that's it. Then damage is applied, whatever. Now, what it's going to be is it's just the creatures are there. There's a hard stop. Here's your creatures.
A hard stop.
Boom. Okay. So now I can say, here's your creatures. We get our opportunity to play whatever spell we want to in terms of a priority perspective. I could pass priority. You could go giant growth. I'm going to turn my 3/3 into a 6/6. Cool. After that is done, hard stop. Boom, done.
If you think of it as an ability, it's split second right now. It's split second. So
yes.
Right.
Once damage is applied, nothing can save it. It is split second. Damage has been dealt. That's
because
it.
all damage is supposed to happen at the same time.
Yeah, all damage is supposed to resolve at the same time.
Yeah,
correct. But in the old way, it was first creature in line got the first batch of damage. If it was lethal, the remaining damage went to the second creature in line. If that was lethal, whatever damage was remaining went to the third creature, right? If you blocked with whatever. Now, what it's going to be is once we get to that hard stop and it's going to be damage resolving, I can now take my 5/5 and go, I want 3 points of damage here. I want 2 points of damage here. Okay. Now, my creature still is going to die because you have, now 10 points of damage to my 5, right?
Yeah.
But this is where like my deck with oppression comes into play is now I can turn around and go cast direct damage spells and trigger all my other shit and blow up everything because there was enough damage to bring it down. Because before, right, is if you had,
but say, I'm still a little lost on how because like you can declare blockers, you can declare your damage, but you can't respond to declared damage.
No, not anymore.
No, that's coming after the declared the damage now is applied after.
Yeah,
is not applied before.
Yeah,
so that's the big change.
So I can't be all like you say. So for the 3/3 and the 4/4, you say, "Oh, I'm going to do lethal to the 4/4." I can't, and I chose not to, or I chose to try to wait to use growth until after you declare that you're going to kill my 4/4. I can't do that.
Correct.
Yep.
What the fuck?
It has to be done beforehand.
Now that's why it kind of brings a little bit more power to the attacker.
Already had a lot of power.
No, well, before
the defense had way more.
Defense always had more power because even when people were putting damage on the stack and then sacrificing the creature, the damage had already been done. There's nothing you can do to save that creature. So it's like, okay, let me just sacrifice it anyways and then get something out of it and have the second blocker stay alive still while the trample doesn't go through. Trample is a little bit different. I know they're talking about it, and that's going to be interesting as well. But yeah, it's going to be a lot more.
Good point about trample, because I would think because trample usually used to go through the order, but if all damage resolves at the same time, I would think that anything that's left over goes to the play.
Yeah. So now, even if you have an even 7, like an even 5 versus even with an even 5, no trample, right? But if you have an even 5 and a 4, you would get 1 trample damage. But then people are like, oh, I giant growth this to buff it up, so no trample damage. But now
that makes it so hard.
Yeah, it's a little bit more complicated
blockers.
now, and I'm like,
because let's say the scenario you have 6 life left. They have a 7/7, and all you got is a 1/1 and an 8/8. you're gonna block, or let's say 1/1 and a 6/6. You're gonna block with the 1/1 in and the 6/6, but they can choose to put all 7 on the 1/1.
So I guess
get 6 through and destroy you.
The biggest thing that I want to,
it's a lot of weirdness. Yeah.
The one thing that they're adding in this article is basically is now there's just not a get out of combat free card anymore.
In what sense? I don't understand that.
Because the combat damage is happening after all the tricks you could do.
Okay.
It's not happening. The damage isn't happening before the tricks.
Yeah.
Right. Because as it sits right now, right, is I could be attacking. You could put 2 creatures in front of me. I reorder them in whatever order I want.
Yeah.
Then that gives you opportunity to respond by pumping up the creature I want to kill first. Right. So therefore, it puts your attackers at a disadvantage right now. Now it's just going to give more power back to the attacker by going, well, you pumped your creature. I'm still going to die, but I'm going to do some damage on the way out the door.
Yeah. But doesn't the attacker still have the ability to respond to declared blockers?
No.
Why? It's not assigning damage. You could still pump your creature. I can still
pump my creature. Like 5/5, you can still pump yours.
I could pump my 5/5 to a 10/10 in response to your 3/4 that you put out.
Correct.
It's because it's something with the phases of combat.
Yeah. So you'll still be able to play a spell on priority after declared blockers, right? You could do a spell. Okay. Then the defense has a chance to respond to you playing that spell to bump up their creature. Mm-hmm. Right. And then after that, that's where damage is assigned. It's like, okay, now all these creatures have been pumped up. I can pretty much, okay, this one's going to die first instead of this other one. Whereas current model before the new damage revision goes into place is that we assign our attacker and blocker. We move to the next phase after that going, I'm already going to be blocking your 3/3. Like I've already committed in the current damage mechanics to attacking your 3/3 first. Mm-hmm. Now that's where we have you playing your tricks like pumping up creatures and stuff to try and save it, right? And then, okay, now I'm going to lose. So basically in that scenario, it's like, okay, I can tips and tricks this all the way through and I can board wipe you essentially, right? Under the current model. The new model is going to be where, okay, blockers declared, we play all of our tricks, and then as the attacker, I get to decide where I'm doing lethal damage if I want to do lethal.
If you want to do so,
I can split the damage.
Let's switch the perspective. Let's go from the defender's perspective. Okay. So since all damage is applied at the same time, because you put out a 5/5 and I put out the 3/3 and the 4/4. Mm-hmm. It's immediately going to die. Your
current model. Well, either way,
current model and new model.
Yes,
but new model, I wouldn't even need to pump my 3/3. Only if I wanted to somehow survive.
Correct.
Okay. It's kind of strange.
Yeah.
I don't know how I feel about this. I'm still confused, but I'd have to get my hands dirty.
I think it's a good thing because with as much as I've been playing some online stuff, there's a lot of decks out there that are pulling a lot of tricks out of their ass. And
I feel like knowing Magic, they've probably been thinking about this for years and have play tested it.
They said this goes back to 2010.
Yeah,
this current damage model's been in play.
Yeah,
and they said it's outdated. Yeah. With the deck designs nowadays.
Like you mean the current one or the new one?
The current deck models that are out there right now.
Yeah, the current deck model is since 2010.
Yeah, and it's OP right now with the card sets that are out currently right now in current standard rotation.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, like
attackers are getting lit
for a long time. For a long time, it's been this way now. Like, once people started having more last second abilities, obviously a lot less, a lot more instants coming out. I mean, we got rid of interrupts. So it's just instant speeds are getting faster and faster, and like it's becoming a game of chicken almost versus like a game of Magic.
Like too many times. I mean, I sit there and I'll attack, and I'm like, okay, I've got a 2/1 first strike, my enchantment deck, right? My striker, my first striker, 2/1. You are gonna block with a 3/2, right?
Sure.
In that case, in the current case now is like, okay, I'm gonna play this and assign damage. Or no, sorry, you block with say a 2/2 or 2/2/2s, right? So there's 4/4. I pump mine currently under the current model. I say, okay, I'm gonna go after this specific 2/2 first, and then you pump it. My first strike all of a sudden is null and void.
Yeah.
Which first strike should have priority, right? But now because you pumped up that creature that I decided I'm going to do lethal to first, all of a sudden now it's done. It's the same thing. Say it was one of my death touches.
But we just
right?
finished saying that you can't pump them after you've decided to do lethal.
So in the current model,
In the current model,
right?
can.
Yeah, in the current model you can, but in the new one you can't.
The new one you won't be able to. So like if I'm going with my 3/4 elf, right, that has death touch, and you throw 2/2s in front of me, right? And then all of a sudden you pump one of your creatures into being now a 5/5. Now it's going, okay, I don't do lethal to both of them anymore. There's only one there. So the new model is going to be where I can go, okay, I want 2 points of damage here and I want 3 points of damage here. And I'm going to take them both out because death touch.
Yeah, I was going to say you only have to do one.
Yeah. So it's basically going to allow the creature cards, I think, that have certain abilities like Death Touch, First Strike, to have a fighting chance of potentially surviving or doing the damage it's originally intended to do, beyond a lot of the tricks that are out there right now. Now, we'll see how it plays out once we actually get foundations and we are able to actually do it real time. But I think Magic's been due for some updates. Let's be honest.
Well, one, Magic's been due for updates, and two, they need to stop having all these essay long cards with complication of rules. Like they need to tone it down a little bit. Honestly reset Magic a little bit. Have it go back to the, hey, this card does one ability, doesn't do like 17 abilities. Like,
okay, so I'm gonna that raises an interesting question for both of you. Out of current mechanics, which one, or at least ones that have been introduced or reintroduced in like the past, let's say 5 years?
Oh, I still don't want to know. I haven't.
What do you think what is the worst one that you would want to get rid of?
I couldn't tell you. I've been playing 5+. Like, there are so many new ones that I have no idea. Let me just take a look. Let me just take a look at some of the new.
I freaking hate Ward so much. And
dude, I have no idea what the hell that
I don't mind Ward. I've got stuff that gets around it.
Like Ward is the creature you have to pay the cost of Ward in order to target the creature.
You have to pay the cost in order to target the creature.
Yeah.
So
it can be anything. It can be mana. It can be you have to tap a creature.
Pay life.
You have to pay
sacrifice
life or whatever. But that's in order to take action on that creature, though. So
I think for me, I think part of Ward should go because there's one card that its Ward is I have to sacrifice 3 permanents just to target it. Like that needs to go.
Yes.
So, this card art and some of the ones they're bringing back as part of Foundations is.
Oh, I've been seeing some of the full art variants, which look freaking awesome.
Yeah. I think this time around, though, if I get back into it, though, I'm gonna just get the cards specifically that I want to build decks with.
I agree. I would do the same if I went to physical.
Dude.
Just play it on Arena and then build your deck in real life.
Theo, look at this. Nykthos Paragon. It's Heliod on crack.
Oh, Jesus.
Whenever you gain life, put that many counters on each creature you control. But you can only do it once each turn. Yeah. But like, I think
each creature you control?
Each creature gets, if I gain 3 life, each creature gets
that is a combination of 3 cards and 1 right there. That's why it costs 6.
That's why it costs 6, and I will ramp into that. There's ramp cards for that.
As long as you play green-white.
Yeah, there's if it allows me to, there's a new creature that allows all my creatures to tap for mana. And then if it's destroyed, it comes back as an enchantment. And then there's another green that I tap it for X color mana. But yeah, it'll be interesting.
Also a green enchantment that lets you tap mana for double.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but those are singular against the land. There's a creature that allows it to tap for an insane amount though. So
some of these new like abilities are interesting.
Bro, you need to play some arena, man.
Nah, dude.
Yeah.
No, I
get up to speed, sir.
I can't get back in it, bro.
Bro, it's free, and you can get packs for free. Like all you got to do is play, man. It's literally play to win and not pay to win.
Yeah, here's where I'll be living in the green. Dude, Rishkar coming back. He's broken. Because he allows any with the Predator Strike, Primeval Bounty. I abuse the crap out of that thing.
I'm green white for life, sir. Green white for life.
Yep.
Green white 1/1 counters. That's me.
Llanowar Visionaries, Llanowar Elves.
What the heck? Why is there's Embalm and Eternalize? It's the same thing. What the heck?
Yeah.
Embalm, yeah.
It's only because of white and black. Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, I'll be building. If I get back in this, I'm building an elf deck.
Of course you are.
Yeah. Especially with, Elvis Archdruid. Combine that with Dwynen's Elite and yeah.
But which format do you start building with? Historic, or do you actually go a little bit more?
I go standard. This is all standard. This is all foundation, so this is gonna be standard.
Only for so long.
Yeah. But no, I'll go green. Elves in the beginning, and it'll be current. Mm-hmm. So
I think I'd go a step back and do alchemy.
Jumpstart? Ew.
It depends on like how many places you're gonna be able to play alchemy or historic with, right? A lot of it's standard Friday Night Magic and stuff. So it'll be interesting to see what other enchantments are out there. But yeah, it's looking at least it's no Hydras at the moment that are in this set.
Ooh, I like Hydras.
Dude.
Ooh, Undergrowth Champion's coming back.
Tyvar's broken.
Undergrowth Champion, man. That's my jam.
Yep. So yeah, it'll be.
Come on, Jason. Come play with us. Come play with us on Arena. Come on.
No, bro. No.
On PC.
No.
On PC and mobile. You can do it.
Oh, no.
I don't.
Even Jerry plays from time to time. Come on, man.
I do not spend any money on it. So
I will admit that I've spent money on it. I've spent money on the season pass.
I did in the beginning, but I make so much in the points to go get cards that it's just like okay.
I don't play often enough.
Oh yeah, I do. I
don't do dailies.
I just go back in and I go do dailies about every day. So
some of these new like cards are just ridiculous, man. It's ridiculous.
So
I can't, man. I can't.
Yes, you can. You totally can.
I can't, dude.
You can.
I wanted to. Okay, so for me, I'm already thinking about possibilities of like what are the Final Fantasy decks going to look like?
Oh man,
when they bring Final Fantasy out. So, and I think it's
like Jason. You come off to me as like a goblin player, and you can do some crazy stuff with goblins right now.
Dude, I'm all about red deck wins, man. I'm all about red deck wins. It's always been. I've always tried to do an out of the box thinking, but yeah, I like to have fun with it rather than like, oh dude, you have this stupid deck.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, well, I know. No duh.
I mean,
like
honestly, Theo's seen some of my broken fucking decks.
Yeah.
Like
I mean, like I had for at
And
one
Matt likes
point.
the stupidity stuff things that I do too.
No.
Dude,
Like,
I've done
I
some
build
pretty
some
stupid stuff.
jank stuff, and you guys are
Like-
like, how the hell is this working? And it's like, it is like oppression, right? On face value, that shouldn't work the way it does.
No, but I mean, like, for example, I have a red-black defense deck. I don't attack at all with red-black.
That's
I have
impressive.
I have
That's
a blue black
impressive.
I have a blue black mill that
Yeah.
I don't
Oh,
attack
blue-black
with.
mill. Wow, that's like they're in the red. It's an old deck, and it doesn't even work anymore because of how stupid fast cards are now. But yeah, I don't attack with red black. I don't fire any face no red spells to the face unless it's for the W. Um all my burn spells are just a control board. That's it.
That's what I did. That's what oppression is. Like I'll attack with my like sometimes with my one
I don't
ones.
attack. I don't
My
attack.
my burn, like for me though, a lot of it is I've got the planeswalkers where you when you cast a spell it does damage. Like I've got a 1/3 creature that's a 2-drop that whenever I cast a non-creature spell it does 1 point of damage to opponent. Just
Yeah.
you know.
The red black deck
Yep.
never attacks unless it's like a free attack, like an open board. Sure. But the
Yeah.
red black deck never attacks. It never uses any
Oppression's
burn spells for
yeah.
no burn spells for the face unless it's
to the
for a
face
W.
unless it yeah. It's kind of how mine is. So
Yeah.
but yeah, I think here's
I'm
my
the complete
parting thought
opposite.
on this.
I love my green
is
white
that-
proliferate.
All day tokens
Yeah,
all
except
day,
for
baby.
when except for
Tokens
when I
all
drop
day,
off
baby.
that
Not even
Planeswalker
tokens,
that
just
does-
1/1 counters, man, all day.
Yeah, but then I get that I
Just
get that
shooting at my
planeswalker
butt.
out that if you attack me, all your creatures get -1/-1 tokens or counters. So
Oh,
I
they'll
just
have enough
board
on
wipe you that
counters
way.
to deal with it.
Yeah. Anyways, I think what's really interesting though about them bringing out Final Fantasy and Magic is that I think this goes to show you that even though they attempted Final Fantasy TCG, I don't think it was doing as well as it could have been because there wasn't a lot of card shop support out there for it. So I think this is the next best thing. You get Final Fantasy out in front of a way bigger card playing population in Magic. So, anyways, so real quick, Jay, you playing anything?
No. I have not watched anything. I've not played anything. I've been working and sleeping.
All righty.
Yeah.
Theo?
While we were talking Magic, I went ahead and loaded up Arena.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie.
I want my
am gonna pick
proliferate
up
deck
packs.
back, but it apparently is not legal in historic nor timeless. So
That's because one of your cards got banned, probably.
no, I mean like there's literally one legal card with proliferate.
Like I
That's
will.
weird.
I will.
All right, no, never mind. The filter is all screwed up.
Yeah.
I will say though, I probably will pick up packs when the Final Fantasy drops.
No packs.
Like I'm gonna get
Singles.
the physicals just because it's gonna be
Singles.
interesting
No
as
packs.
hell.
Singles.
No packs, just singles. Nah,
No
nah.
packs, just singles. No packs.
I'll build
No
FF7
packs.
decks.
I
FF8,
just want to see. I
FF13.
just want to see like. I just want to
The
see
card art's gonna be
planeswalkers,
gorgeous.
man. Like I just want to see them as planeswalkers. It's gonna be awesome. It's gonna be cool.
Dude,
but that's it.
Shiva is a planeswalker.
Yeah, dude. Like having the summons as planeswalkers, that'd be sick. Having like.
So Theo, you been playing anything?
A little bit of Destiny. I played a good amount for Festival of the Lost, their Halloween event. A little bit of COD here or there. But other than that, about it. I did break out Echoes over the weekend. Still haven't made it too far. I just visited the river and the sea Zora.
Yep.
Those villages. But yeah, that's about it.
Let's see. I've been Echoes. Just been doing a bunch of exploring. Before I go up and deal with the three new rifts after you go to the castle rift. So I'm on the back half of the game. There is Animal Crossing. There's Animal Crossing. So I took down part of my Halloween decorations. Some of them are still up. but that's because I brought out all of my Christmas decorations that I have and placed. I already have one neighborhood already done with Christmas decorations. So I now know what I need to play, like, or what I need to build, like, for replacements for all the Halloween decorations.
Okay.
Because my remodel, oh my God, I got to build so much more shit for decorations. So I'll have to get to that. But then Horizon Remastered came out, and I started a brand new file on that so I could get all the new trophies. Like, none of the trophies pop if you had the original Horizon on PS4. So you kind of very much have to have it's a brand new trophy list. It's the same stuff. So you got to start a new game versus New Game Plus. So it is absolutely gorgeous. It is right there with Forbidden West in terms of graphics and everything. Aloy, when she turns in the light, you can see the individual hairs on her face. Like, it's that detailed. Just like Forbidden West. So and then Jason, you'll be pleased in this that I actually recommended an anime to somebody. They were looking for some recommendations, and because you guys have kind of brought me into the light, so to speak, just a little bit, I did recommend Solo Leveling.
Nice. Jason,
So,
you haven't watched Solo Leveling yet, have you?
No, I haven't yet.
Dude, so good. Go watch it. Anyways, with that, I just want to say,
that
for
and
everyone,
Dan to Dan. I watched Dan to Dan too.
Okay.
Yeah, I heard about that one too. I think my wife started watching that one.
Hilarious.
But for everyone that did kind of crash and lurk over the night, we're just gonna watch the VOD on this later. Thank you for crashing game night tonight. I know tonight's a really big night here in the US, so a lot of people couldn't watch it. Listen, as we did this live. So catch the videos on demand, both on our YouTube channel, here on Twitch, and crashinggamenight.com. But please, just everybody, especially in the States, as votes are being counted and everything, let's all take a step back and breathe and really just remember to just be excellent to each other. Jason?
Yeah, that's right, everybody.
Jerry.
Jerry's not here, so we need a moment to channel the Jerry. So then that way we have a moment of silence for Jerry over there. Like, he always likes to take my stuff, and it's okay. But hopefully everybody went out there, voted. Cool. By the time you listen to this, we'll have a new president, or we'll have a new president to be president to be.
President-elect.
Yeah, and it is what it is, man. Like, I know people are gonna be upset, some people are gonna be happy. So, like, it's all good. It's all good. Anyways, just be safe out there. It is getting colder now. Hopefully, you're bundled up like I am in my 60-degree house where it's cold as hell. And I have Theo and Matt just shaking their heads. It's okay. But yeah, just be safe out there. Holiday season is just around the corner. Take care of each other and just relax, man. Anyways, like we like to do, because it's my turn now. My man, Theo Walski, send us out like you do.
And since Jason wasn't here or to hear about Jerry's
homework
assignment, it's to test to see if he actually watches these when he misses the show. So I'm going to read Jason what I think Jerry would enjoy seeing, but we'll see if he actually acknowledges that that they exist by watching the VOD, because I'm pretty sure he won't know that they're out there right now. Yep.
Oh, we'll see. And was he looking for it?
Doubt it. I mean, he's not quite into pops as much as I am, but I mean, I'm trying not to say anything so that way he can't cheat and do it by listening.
Yeah, because I mean, like, those looked interesting, and it's like, okay, well, I don't know if he was looking for it or if you were looking for it, or
nope. I just happened to stumble upon him on TikTok, and I was like, oh, I didn't know those came out. I'm gonna go grab those.
Then,
So,
well, all right, y'all. Thank you for watching. Thanks for listening. Till next time, TTFN. Ta-ta for now.
Good night, everybody.